Pope Benedict XVI. It's always good to have a response from you. A fellow worthless heathen stoner nobody. So that's good to hear from you. I wanted to talk about a little bit about some of the stuff you were talking about in your last video, AAA, about spirituality. You're really down on spiritualism, and I totally understand. I'm not quite as down on spiritualism. I do that a lot. But religion has hijacked spiritualism. And I see it, I know there's a lot of brain dead, crystal worshipping, pseudo science, magic, fuzzy, Reiki people that, oh, I'm spiritual. I know there's an energy in the universe that cares and loves for us all. No. But there is, I believe, a valid emotion or feeling of spiritualism. I feel it. You mentioned the sunset, and they go, oh, well, look at the sunset. It's so amazing. And yeah, it's pretty cool looking. It's when I see sunsets, or for me particularly a small creek running through heavily mossed woods, I feel it in my chest. I go, oh man, it feels magical. I can feel the energy, or whatever trigger in my brain, whatever my eyes and nose and ears are intaking, something triggers in my brain. And to me, it's a feeling of connectedness. And I've done a couple of videos on spirituality and my take on it. But to me, spirituality is just a feeling of connectedness, still got a cold, and empathy, and a symbiotic relation with your environment. You see a grassy field or a forest, or you go outside and it's got that kind of cold, sprinkly feeling. It's very fresh. You feel the energy. And I think our language is probably the biggest issue. We have to deal with religious terminology because we don't have anything else yet. Science is bringing it forward. Philosophy has done a lot, but sadly, religion, the belief in magic, it has hijacked our language, and we have to deal with that. So I'm not so down on spiritualism as a thing being connected to your environment or feeling oneness with your neighbor. That's great. Happy day. I mean, one of our issues as primates is we are separate, for a good reason, from everybody else. But that kind of makes us a little lonely and a little insecure on our heads, and we want to kind of grasp at things that give us some security and a spiritual connection to your fellow man. I think helps people feel better. Helps me feel better to know that somebody else is out there. Like I said, when I see the creek or when I go kayaking, I like feeling connected to my environment. I know that's an environment that would support me and give me the things I need to survive. So that's my version of spirituality. And hijacked classically by religion, which is sad. We need to recover. The other thing you said is you're frustrated by the fact that religion is winning. You think religion is winning. Crazy people that believe in invisible friends is winning. And it is frustrating when you have your face rubbed in it all the time. All you see is people talking about the church and God and religion and passing laws, restricting abortions and gay rights, and just being all around douches of a human, suppressing everybody else's will, or making people do what you don't, or stopping them from doing what you don't think they should do because you think it's icky, when it's really none of your fucking business. That bugs me too. But statistically, non-belief is on the rise. And the internet is accelerating that. And as you were saying, as you yourself said, that a lot of Catholics probably aren't really Catholic. They just go along with it for the community, for the spiritual connection to their fellow man. Because it's a lonely world out there. And if you are in a group of people that all pretend, at least, to believe in something, and you get together and help each other based on that, if you reject their philosophy, their invisible friend, if you reject that, you lose everything else with it. So that's a big jump. I never really had it. I've always been pretty content in my own head, so I didn't need a large community. I've been pretty handy, so I can kind of do what the hell I want to, or need to. I can fix what I need fixed, and my business is such that I can get away with a lot of stuff because massage therapy is a bit alternative anyway, and they all think I'm weird, and they come to me because they think I'm weird. But atheism, non-belief, is on the rise. It's just going way slower than I would like it to. And I think once more logic, reason, and non-belief takes over, I think it'll snowball and have a domino effect, and it will affect everything very quickly. The other thing, I took a little note here. Way back when you mentioned when religion was beginning and they just invented invisible people. Back then, they didn't know what was possible, which had the effect of making everything possible. So you saw lightning, and you didn't know what it was. You had no idea, or they had no idea, so it was magic. And they didn't know what was impossible or possible, so you could imagine someone being able to control that. If you don't know what it is, well, you can just apply it to anything. But now that we have more data and we know what is going on, we know what is possible, technically, not everything. Some things, if you can think it, you can do it sort of thing. But we now know that there are limits and basically what those limits are. So once you know what is possible, you start refining what your belief system is. So, like Star Wars, Luke Skywalker using the Force to mentally move his lightsaber or draw his lightsaber to him. We understand that it's not possible now. They wouldn't have back then. Stuff moved by itself all the time, and they didn't understand why. But in addition to that, we know how it could be possible. What we would need to do to make that effect on something. So the fact that we know it's not possible to do it as it's portrayed, we also understand that it could be possible because of our scientific understanding of the universe. So I think as we get more of that, there'll be less magic. And it's late. Again, I always do this when it's late and I'm going home. We understand it's not magic anymore. And we understand that anything that is magic, once you know how it works, isn't magic. Everything is science once you know how it works. So even if there was a God, he doesn't use magic. And there's not, so let it go. But if there was, and he was doing all these amazing things, whatever he does, he knows how he's doing it. So to him, it's science. If you know how it's done and you can repeat it, it's science. Otherwise, if you're a schmuck and some invisible force is doing stuff and you don't understand science and reason, it's going to be magic, and you can apply magic to everything then, because it's magic. But once you know that nothing is magic, it's all science, you can then logically decide what's possible and what is, I guess, still possible, but a little bit harder to do. So thank you for the video response, and I like your thinking, and smoke one up for me, and have a wonderful night. It's good to see you.